Yes, I think it's very important that you got to have some accountability in this whole society. You do, both citizens and the ones we hire and pick to protect us. Now, we know law enforcement officers are not conscripted into this position. This is something they volunteer for. But I think that the people with their frustration keep focusing on the police department level, and we know for a fact that the police chief has to answer to the city manager. The city manager has to answer to city council, and the city council ultimately answers to us. Now, we can keep saying over and over again that we got to change the way police think and their practicing abilities, and how they do certain things. Look, policing's been around for a long time. And yes, I believe that certain individuals get through the cracks, and those individuals are not stable. So you can look at domestic violence amongst law enforcement officers and their spouse. You can look at suicide, attempted or, unfortunately I hate to say this, successful suicide rates amongst law enforcement officers. That lets you know right then and there that the system has, and always will be flawed. Because sometimes they can get through a certain parameters and become an officer and not really should be an officer. I think it's ridiculous that we have to hold the people above them accountable, not just the officers and the captains and the chiefs, people above them, because they ultimately make the decision who they're going to hire. And once they hire a person, then that person is going to train the department the way they want it trained and run it the way they want it ran. So you see what I'm saying? That somebody hires these individuals. It's not conscripted. No one just jumps in and takes over. It's nothing like that. You need to talk to your city manager. You need to get in with your city council. You need to get in with the commissioner's court. You need to vote. That's what it comes down to. People, if you don't vote on your local, state level, and then talk about, well, I guess nothing will never change, my vote doesn't count. Yeah, your vote does count. But it's up to you and how you're gonna vote, when you're gonna vote, and have some questions. Have some questions you wanna ask, and ask those questions. Don't be afraid. That's why City Council opens their doors when they're having meetings. Because it allows their community, their citizens, to come in and do just that. So yeah, I think it's one of those things where it's your responsibility. So don't just talk, do. But don't do in a violent way. Don't go out there protesting and stopping traffic. That's not going to solve anything. What's going to solve it is if you get off your butt and you go down there and you make sure that everybody's registered to vote, and you vote and you look at those individuals who they want to bring in to make sure that it is a great part of your community. Because when it's not, things go upside down. I don't want to hear crap from you because you put them in, whether you voted or not. But at least if you vote, you know you have a fair chance of getting the person you want.